What you're about to see are passionate, dedicated and trained people practicing and preparing to enter an extreme sporting event that may change their lives. Do not try this on your own without necessary experience and supervision.
Breathe in, breathe out. This moment's what it's all about. Want to be great, your goal to wait. Don't hesitate. Accelerate!
Set for the race, aim to give it all I got. Mind is set, gonna reach the high spot. Working hard in order to fulfill my goal. Nothing can stop me from getting what I'm going for. That's being great, I was working tirelessly, so I won't hesitate. Gotta get to first place, hands on the golden plate. I'll concentrate, won't hit the brake, just move forward, accelerate. Welcome back, guys. This is Xcellerate. Last week, we saw 15-year-old Formula V driver Byron Mitchell compete in 2 tough race days, 1 national and 1 regional. He's currently leading the championship in his class, but has 1 more regional race day to become the youngest Formula V champion in the country. Does he have what it takes to cross the finish line and secure a podium finish? Let's find out.
Okay, so today I'm racing on the Power Series of Caleigh. It's my last race of the season. We just finished qualifying and I qualified 2nd in my class, but 7th on the grid because of all the other faster cars in front of us. Well, today's going to be a day about strategy, so I'm going to try and just keep it on the track and don't go off anywhere and see how it goes. I made my way to the grid and I just did 1 practice start before I got to the grid to make sure the car was running properly. I know I'm in the lead by 8 points, so all I have to do is stay on track and ride clean lines. I don't necessarily have to win, but that will be my aim because I want to show the other drivers I'm a tough competitor. I was starting in 2nd position and this was very good for me because I needed to be in front. There were 5 other cars on track in front of us and they were all faster cars than what we have. So on the grid there's 2 different classes. In front of us there's the A class, and these cars have very fast motors and they are wings and slicks. And behind obviously the A class is our class and we are the C class. So we just have normal semi-slicks with 1400 motors. I had a very good start, but the cars behind me had a little bit better start, but I managed to keep my lead into turn 1. I managed to keep my lead and keep all the cars behind me for the first few laps. After 3 laps I'd gone by, the cars behind me had used my slipstream to get past me, and I was lying 3rd place. It was Thomas van der Merwe in 1st place, Richard Carr in 2nd place, and me, Byron, in 3rd place. Those were the results for race 1. I'm still on track to win the championship with my 8-point lead. I have 1 more race to clinch the title. I just have to keep my nerve. I drive back to the pits to assess the car 1 last time. I have to make sure that it's in good condition for the next race. So this is the last race of my season. I'm not gonna lie, I was really scared. I was really nervous. I was so nervous for this race. I was starting 3rd position. I was sitting on the line waiting for all the other cars to get into position. And I wasn't even focused on anything. I just looked to my left, looked to my right to make sure all the cars were there. The car in front of me had a bad pull away, so I had to force myself to go to the left. Going out of turn 1, I was trying to keep the cars behind me, and the car in front of me managed to pull a very big gap. So I was currently lying 2nd place. Into turn 2, a car was pulling up on my inside, and he managed to pass me going into turn 3. Into turn 3, I was sitting behind him, and I managed to get quite close to him and get nice drive out of the corner, but once again I did not want to take my car out because it was the last race of the season and I needed to play safe. So I backed off a bit, so I thought let me try pass him down the back straight. So as I came out of turn 4, turn 5, I went down that back straight. And I got his slipstream and just slingshotted straight past him. On this back straight, I can easily reach speeds up to 190 kilometers per hour, depending on the weather and the day. I came into the last corner. There were 3 Formula V's, including myself, and 2 Formula Volkswagens, the fast cars. They passed us on the outside, but I managed to keep the other 2 Formula V's behind me. This was a pure race into the line, and this determined whether I'd be champion or not. I managed to keep them behind me. I managed to become the 2016 Formula Vee champion. So we came into the pits and my heart was racing so fast because this was my first year in Formula Vee racing, and I was so overwhelmed that I had managed to win the championship for my first year. My dad gives me a hug because of all of our hard years' work, it finally paid off. All the late nights, all the working, all the screaming, all the shouting, everything had paid off, and I was the champion. This was a really emotional moment for me because this was my first ever championship that I've ever won, and I'm sure there's many more to come.
So a big thanks to my dad, who's always been there for me through bad and through good. And thanks to all of you guys for making these days possible.
So after a long and grueling season on the tarmac, Byron Mitchell has achieved the impossible. He's now the youngest Formula Vee champion in the country. Well done, Byron. We knew you could do it. Stay tuned, because after the break, we'll be catching up with 8-year-old gymnast Caleigh Anders, and we'll see if she can grab a medal at her national event. Welcome back. We're with Caleigh, a star gymnast we met last week. She's about to compete in a national event held in the Western Province. Can she impress the judges and make that all-important leap onto the podium? We're about to find out.
Today I'm competing in a gymnastics national competition being held in Cape Town. There will be a lot of competitors from around the country. So I want to do well in this competition because it's also the last event for the year. So I've travelled down to Cape Town from Gauteng, where the event will be taking place at the Western Cape Sports School. There will be a lot of apparatus that will be included in this program. I will be doing vault, which consists of vaulting over a handspring vaulting table. I will also be doing floor, which consists of a spring floor. I will be doing bar as well, which consists of a frame, which I will be doing spins, swings and jumps. Beam I will be doing leaps, dance poses, handstands, rolls and walkovers on a thin wooden beam. So I sit with my mom in the venue and wait for my event to start. There will be all types of age groups for both girls and boys. So I have to wait for my age group to start. Before I start, I have to change into my show leotard and do the warm-ups. We then have to make our way into the main venue and present ourselves to the judges, and they will do a roll call. After that, I have to get ready for my first apparatus, which is beam. It's my least favorite because I fell off and hurt myself, and I'm still not 100% good with it. But I think I can do well because I've practiced it many times. The judges are looking for many different things like form, composure, poses, and technique. I'm hoping that I can impress them. On beam, we first have to do one practice round and then our main routine. In my practice round, my coach gives me my last minute tips. Shortly afterwards, I do my main routine. First, I mount the beam. And then do a backward walkover. But I lose my balance and fall off the beam. I get embarrassed, but I pick up myself and do the rest of my routine. I can't show the judges that I'm fazed by my mistake. I do a jump and then a half turn into a split leap. I do another half turn and wobble a bit, but I recover quickly. I go into a cartwheel and again I lose my balance, but I stick on the beam again. And then I do a sachet into a scale hold. And then a punch run for my landing. I lost my balance, but I still presented to the judges. My coach congratulates me, and I get ready for my next act, that's floor. I didn't do so well in my beam routine, so I have to make sure I do floor very well. I watch the other routines and I start to get nervous. The judges raise the green flag for me to start my floor routine. I do some basic dance moves and then do a full turn. I then run into a punch run. My mom watches on and she is very nervous. I then do a handstand forward roll into a split. I then run into a handspring dive roll cartwheel. And then a forward walkover. I then go into a sachet, leap side leap, backward roll. And then for my final move, I do a rounder flick flack flick flack. Then I do some dance moves. and in my routine, present and walk off the floor. The judges give me a score of 8.20 and I'm quite happy about that because I deserve the score. The next apparatus is vault and we do one practice round and my coach helps me. For this vault, I jump into a front handspring. I did very well in this apparatus and I managed to score 9.20. I get ready by putting on my grips and chalking up my hands. This is very important because it helps you to stay on the bar. If you do not put it on properly, you will slip on your head. In my main routine, my coach helps me to mount the bar and then I do my main routine. I first swing into a kip cast hip circle and I end off with an Anders swing dismount. The judges give me a score of 9.20 and I'm very happy about that score. Afterwards we had prize giving.
We'll start with vaults and we do class 2, 8 and under first. We'll start with the apparatus medal of vaults. In third place, Amala Joseph from Gauteng. Second place, Caleigh Anders from Gauteng. And first place on vault, Toya Pabalako from the Western Cape. Well done, girls. Moving over to bar. Here we have a two-way tie in third place between Caleigh Anders from Gauteng as well as SABC YouTube from Gauteng. Both of these girls receive a bronze medal for bar.
I'm very happy that I got 2 medals, a silver and a bronze, and I wish that I got a gold.
So after a nerve-wracking day at the gym, Caleigh has managed to secure a second place medal in her vault apparatus and has tied third place for her bar apparatus. Well done, Caleigh. Just remember, always shoot for the moon. Even if you miss, you will land among the stars. Up next, we meet 15-year-old rock climber David Nordia and see what he does to prepare for his upcoming competition. If you have an extreme sport that you'd like us to check out, why not tell us about it on our Facebook page? Who knows? You could become our next accelerator. Welcome to Xcellerate. We are ascending some vertical walls with rock climber David. Let's meet him and get to know climbing as a pro sport.
I'm David Nordia, I'm 15 years old and I'm a rock climber. I'm in grade 9 and I go to Bishop's College. I live in Rondebosch with my mom and dad. My sister took me to the Cedarburg. She just strapped me into a harness and basically just dragged me up this cliff. And it was so new to me and I just fell in love with it immediately. What I like about climbing is that there's a sense of achievement and gratitude, and I'm super grateful to sort of all the amazing places that we get to visit when you're out rock climbing, and the sense of achievement when you overcome a really hard climb that you think you couldn't do in the past and now you can. And that sense of achievement is what I really like. Some of my future aspirations in climbing is to climb as hard as possible, and hopefully, if everything goes right, because climbing has been introduced to the 2020 Olympics in Tokyo, well, some of my aspirations are to go there and compete in the Olympics. That would be amazing. But yeah, just to climb as hard as possible is sort of my goal. The event that I'm competing in the next few days is the provincial competitions. If I win this event, it'll mean a great deal to me because it means I'm the best climber in my age group in this province. So the provincials, it's split up. So provincials is the smallest comp, and what happens is if you do well in this, you'll get put through to the national competition, which if you do well in that, then you get selected for China. And sort of that's what I'm aiming for now, and to just try to do as well as I possibly can in that event. This event's so important to me because it's the highest level that climbing has for the youth at the moment. It's the Olympics of the youth climbing, put it that way. And it's all the best climbers, all the best youth climbers in the world. We're all competing, and it's just on this world stage, and it's just big, and it's amazing. I probably spend 60 to 70 hours a week climbing. I climb pretty much 3 to 4 times a week here at City Rock, and then another 7 to 10 hours a day on the weekend on the mountain. And if the problem with climbing is that it requires a lot of your time to get good, and the moment you don't climb for a month, you lose all of that and you've got to start again. So you have to maintain that high intensity training and just climbing a lot in order to stay good and improve.
The positive impacts of the sport have been quite dramatic. I think that it's changed David considerably. He's become very much more confident, physically much stronger, and it's given him a focus in life. And I think to have a passion like that is always a good thing, providing you don't let it overrule everything else, and you can still manage to continue the rest of your life. I think it really does make a huge difference. It's a sport which I would recommend to everybody. I still would like to advocate that it's made a compulsory sport at schools.
If I don't win, it won't be the end of the world to me. I know that I've done other things, and I've won other competitions, and I've climbed other hard climbs, and so I only compete because it's fun. It's all just about the fun, and it won't devastate me if I don't win.
Tune in next week where we will see if David can come out tops in his event, and we'll also meet a brand new accelerator. You don't want to miss this one. In the meantime, check out our Facebook page for more news and views.